Thinking about packing your bags and heading to the Sunshine State? Well, before you book that moving truck, let's pump the brakes for a second. Today, we're diving deep into the 5 reasons you might just regret moving to Orlando. It's not all theme parks and sunshine. There are some real considerations to keep in mind. So let's get started. Reason number 1, the heat. Orlando is known for its sunny, warm weather, which sounds fantastic, right? But let me tell you, the reality can be quite different in the summer months. Temperatures often soar into the high 90s and the humidity makes it feel even hotter. Don't let me get started with the hair and the frizzing and all of that. Imagine stepping outside and feeling like you just walked into a sauna. That's Florida summer. If you're someone who enjoys mild or cool weather, the heat can be a real shock. The humidity is not comfortable. It can lead to exhaustion and even heat-related illnesses if you're not careful. Just think about it. If you're used to 4 distinct seasons, adjusting to this relentless summer heat can be a challenge. Thankfully, here in Central Florida, we are masters of air conditioning. All the businesses here have them, and they have excellent AC. The theme parks have done things to remove the discomfort. They have like cooling stations with the water that sprays out, or mists, I guess I should say. They have fans, and of course, there's plenty of house options with pools that you can cool off in at the end of the day. And the beach is only about 45 minutes to an hour to get away from the greater Orlando area. You know, we have 6 to 8 months where the weather is amazing and there are plenty of ways to cool off. So for me as a Florida resident, the hot summer months are so worth it. Reason number 2, alligators. Yes, you heard that right. Orlando is home to a substantial population of alligators, and they can even be in residential lakes and ponds. And while they're fascinating creatures, they play a vital role in our ecosystem. They can be quite intimidating if you're not used to them. I was just golfing last weekend, and my ball landed about 10 feet away from a gator. So that was pretty shocking, and we just grabbed the ball and ran. Yeah, it was fun. You just keep your distance, right? They're mostly sleeping. They're mostly kind of in a dazed state, I think. But if you plan to enjoy outdoor activities like fishing, kayak, or even just walking by the water, just stay safe and vigilant, especially if you have kids or small pets. And while it's rare for gators to pose a serious threat to humans, there have been incidents over the years. So if you're moving here with kids or pets, you might want to have a talk about gator safety. In my experience, I've only seen gators in the rivers or springs when I'm kayaking or canoeing and again, golfing. But there's some beautiful springs in the area where you'll probably see a small gator. And you'll always want to remember, if you see an alligator, admire it from a distance, keep your pets close. And before I tell you about the next big reason you might regret moving to Orlando, I want to mention that we have a Greater Orlando Relocation Guide that has a lot of good info. If you're getting started with researching the area, if you've been thinking about Orlando, this is a great resource to get more familiar with the different areas that just could be right for you. Reason number 3, bugs. If you thought you were leaving behind annoying insects by moving to Orlando, think again. The warm, humid climate is a breeding ground for all sorts of bugs, including mosquitoes, love bugs, and even the infamous palmetto bug, which is just a fancy name for a cockroach with wings. Let's talk about mosquitoes. They thrive in the humid summer months. However, the city sprays for mosquitoes, so they really aren't a big issue in Greater Orlando. They're more common in rural areas, or if you're camping or that sort of thing, or if you go for a hike on one of the many scenic trails here in Central Florida, just bring bug spray. That you probably won't have an issue. Just don't get me started though on palmetto bugs. They fly, they scuttle, they have a knack for showing up when you least expect them. I always scream when I see one. It's just a reaction. I can't help it. On the flip side, if you set up simple traps around the home or have your home sprayed ecologically with a pest control company, you'll be fine. You just need to prepare to invest in regular pest control services when you live in this tropical paradise. Reason number 4, you knew it was coming, hurricane season. From June to November, Florida is on high alert for hurricanes and tropical storms. Now, while Orlando is situated inland and is less likely to take a direct hit compared to coastal cities, we still experience the effects heavy rain, strong winds, and even flooding can occur. You might even be wondering how often we actually deal with hurricanes. Not every year brings a major storm. It's essential to be prepared. This means having your hurricane kit with essentials like water, non-perishable food, medications, flashlights with batteries, a radio that has battery option. You never know when you might need it, so it's just good to have it. If you want to know more about hurricanes, then you might want to check out this video that I'll link here. I cover the safest places to live and the types of homes I would stay away from, and also flood zones, which is an important topic to consider when moving here. Reason number 5, the tourist. We've all been one, we've all known one, we've seen one. The famous tourists that flock to Orlando. It's no secret, Orlando is a major tourist destination, attracting millions each year to this famous theme park packed area. While that's great for the local economy, it means that some parts of Orlando can get pretty congested. I was just driving from Kissimmee to downtown today, and I can tell you it was bumper to bumper on I-4 the whole way home, pretty much until we got to close to downtown, and then it opened up. The theme park area is very, very congested with traffic from our beloved tourists. There's some great streets though, like International Drive, that has great fun things to do, and of course all our theme parks, Disney World, Universal Studios. The crowds can be overwhelming on that end of town, especially during peak seasons. And you know, it brings a lot of traffic. Again, where I live and where most of the suburban areas are in Orlando, we don't really see tourists. It's really, in Orlando, tourists are really kind of quadrant off into where the theme parks are. So that's kind of a benefit for Orlando. We just don't have the tourists all over the place. It's really focused in that area for the most part. But while I'm talking about traffic and my traffic today, the worst traffic, of course, is near the theme parks on I-4. It can get so chaotic sometimes, particularly during weekends and holidays when tourists flood to the area. So if you're commuting to the southwest area of Orlando, the traffic can be a huge inconvenience. But don't get me wrong, there are perks to living in a tourist hotspot. My clients that I was just coming from today live there and they love it. They can go to the theme park in 2 minutes. They dine in all those touristy restaurants. They love it down there. They absolutely love it. Even as a local, I still go there, from time to time to go to the restaurants and dining and entertainment areas. It's so close by. It takes me 30 minutes to get down there typically. So why wouldn't you want to be close to world-class attractions? Just remember to balance the excitement with a little patience. Also, the traffic really isn't too bad compared to other cities overall. It's mainly that area around the parks that can be a headache to get through sometimes. But Greater Orlando is a sprawling area with plenty of areas that aren't touristy or trafficy. You could even live here and avoid the tourist part altogether if you wanted. It's just something to keep in mind when it comes to commuting. And while Orlando has its undeniable charm, beautiful weather, amazing attractions, and vibrant community, these 5 reasons might just give you a pause before making the leap. I would strongly recommend taking a trip here during different parts of the year if you can, to see what the weather is like and just to see other parts other than the tourist areas, because if you only come here for Disney, you really don't know the rest of Orlando. And if you're still considering making the move to Orlando, don't hesitate to reach out. Our team is here to help you navigate all the options and help you find a perfect place to live. Our contact information is in the description box, and if you'd like to chat more about potential downsides or upsides of living in Orlando, don't hesitate to reach out. And if you want to know the top 5 places in Orlando my clients are moving, be sure to check out that video here. See you later. Bye-bye now.